Love is often said to conquer all, but sometimes love alone is not enough. This is the story of Samuel and Ivy, a tale of love, choices, and the path we take. Samuel and Ivy had been together for 5 years. Their love seemed unbreakable. They shared laughter, they shared dreams, and whispered promises of forever. However, behind Samuel's loving smile was a fear of commitment, which is why their relationship lasted so long without progressing. He kept hesitating whenever the topic of settling down was mentioned. Ivy is a lovely girl with a beautiful heart. She chose to overlook Samuel's reluctance in the name of love. She deeply loved Samuel and silently was hoping that one day their love would conquer all. One day, Ivy felt a bit unwell and decided to go for a checkup, discovering that she was pregnant. A mix of joy and anxiety filled her heart. She knew that this time is the moment to solidify their union. She had already had 3 abortions in the past and was determined not to have another one. So based on this determination, she knew that her parents would also not allow her to give birth out of wedlock. So the discussion of marriage was reignited, much to Samuel's displeasure, which was evident. He was content with their relationship as it was and was not interested in a committed marriage. Ivy's parents called a meeting with Samuel's family after much back and forth, and also realizing that Samuel was still hesitant. Ivy suggested having a small traditional Nigerian wedding, an illegal court ceremony, thinking he might be scared of the expenses. After so much hesitation, Samuel finally agreed to the traditional wedding but refused the court marriage. With his mother fully supporting his decision, Ivy begged for just a court wedding, but Samuel refused. Ivy's father, who adored her, didn't like seeing her stressed and didn't push further, so they settled for just the traditional wedding. On the day of the traditional wedding, Samuel was moody all through, and it was evident on his face. That night, Ivy inquired about his love for her and why he was so against the court marriage. He denied being unhappy and said he wasn't mentally ready for the wedding, but would try to be the best husband he could. And his reason for rejecting a court wedding was that it benefited women more than men, especially in the event of a divorce. He assured Ivy that since they didn't plan to divorce, not having it is okay. As usual, out of love, Ivy did not question further. They hugged and spent a beautiful night together as a married couple. 6 months later, Ivy gave birth to a beautiful baby girl and they named her Zoe. Samuel loved his daughter dearly. 4 years passed and Zoe brought joy to their lives. Her laughter filled their home. However, as Zoe grew, the cracks in Samuel and Ivy's relationship widened, hidden beneath the facade of a happy family. Ivy's father was always concerned about Samuel's treatment of his daughter. He wasn't beating her, but since their marriage, Samuel's love had become questionable and his affection had shifted to Zoe after she was born. Ivy always feels abandoned in their relationship, which made her always unhappy, but she kept it in for the sake of Zoe, our daughter. Ivy's father, seeing his daughter's unhappiness, found a golden opportunity for a better future. He arranged for Zoe and Ivy to move abroad for a change of environment and a better life. He spoke to a few friends who agreed to help with their relocation process. Ivy's father visited her to share the opportunity. She looked hopeful and determined again. She was glancing at Zoe playing in the background with a lovely smile. However, to start the relocation process, they needed to prove that Ivy and Samuel were legally married, which required a legal marriage certificate, and they did not have. Overhearing the conversation, Samuel realized the gravity of the situation and pleaded with Ivy to legalize their marriage in court so it could be part of the relocation process. He called his parents, explained the matter, and asked them to help beg Ivy and her parents. Ivy's dad, remembering how Samuel's parents had embarrassed his daughter years ago, remained adamant. He warned Ivy that if she went ahead with the court marriage, he would disown her and withdraw his support for the trip. Ivy loved Samuel, but her father's words echoed in her mind. This was her chance for a better life for herself and Zoe. Ivy, valuing her father's support and determined for a better future, chose not to accept to legalize the marriage. And not only because she wanted to obey her father, but Ivy also saw it as a way to get back at Samuel for refusing a court wedding years ago, saying it only benefited women. The relocation process continued, and soon the visa was approved. With a heavy heart but a determined spirit, Ivy and Zoe left for a new life abroad, leaving Samuel behind to confront the consequences of his past reluctance. Sometimes the choices we make define our destiny. Samuel learned this the hard way, left to reflect on what could have been. For Ivy and Zoe, a new chapter began, one filled with hope and possibilities. Love, commitment, and actions shape our future. And sometimes love must be nurtured and cherished with more than just words. This story reminds us that love is a journey requiring more than just feelings. It needs commitment, it needs action, and sometimes difficult choices. For Ivy and Zoe, a new life awaits. And for Samuel, a painful lesson was learned but too late.